We live? I think we're live. I think. I hope. Looks like it. I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I don't know anymore. But I know this. So we're here. I guess I'll wait for some people to show up. But for the people that will watch this later, just got done watching the greatness that was CM Punk debuting. Fairly amazing. All day, of course. I think everyone that was watching all day, like I think it really kind of started yesterday. It really just more and more hype. Couldn't wait like all day. I had the day off, but just like looking on Twitter and looking on all this stuff and just seeing like how everything was being done. And I posted on Twitter a couple times just out of curiosity. I didn't go to like my trendings. I actually went to like the actual like what is actual trendings, and CM Punk was pretty much top 10 all day long, and it was insane stuff. Just crazy, just like I like, and it just kept like going and going and going and going and going, and then Rampage started. I was pretty sure they were going to start with Punk just because if a couple weeks ago I said that they just need to give him the mic and let him go, and that's pretty much what they did. And if you're going to do that, he needs to go on first, so then you can time everything out over the rest of the show. And that's exactly what they did. Um, that pop when he walked out. Um, I know C-Dude Chase. He said he'd wondered if he'd ever heard anything like that. I pretty much, there's only two times I've ever seen that type of reaction. The first time would have been when, well, I shouldn't say the first. The one that I will say, which isn't exactly on the same level, but would have been One Night Stand 2, when RVD came out to face John Cena. That pop was unreal, but that was a very, very small crowd, right? I was like, maybe what that crowd maybe had 1,000 people, maybe in it, which is absolutely nuts, uh, just craziness. And then the other one that I remember was the night that Ric Flair came back to WCW, and they formed the Horseman group with he who we won't name, and Dean Malenko and Arn Anderson, and that pop was unreal. And that is the closest thing I can think of that was like this, except this was even crazier. This was even like when he walked out, that was just like a moment to end all moments. It was very insane in a lot of ways, and just him just being able to go off the cuff, him kind of burying WWE without the without any of that was very like crazy to me, and just an amazing moment, um, which just completely overshadowed the rest of the show, which kind of sucks because Private Party and Jurassic Express actually went out and had a pretty good match. With a Doomsday Canadian Destroyer. I'm sure I've seen that a couple times, but I may have shed a tear or two. I may have shared. The thing is, I saw a lot of people say they got emotional over this, which makes me really wonder what's going to happen when Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whoever you want to call him, comes out, because I think there's more of an emotional attachment to that, because I think that is just like, yeah, they got killed on time, but it was fine. I mean, I don't think either of those matches were going to go. I don't think either the Jade match or the Moxley match were going to go very long. Anyways, I think everybody knew the deal going in, and even with that, so there was that. Um, yeah, just yeah. I think as soon as Final Countdown hits, I think people are just going to lose it, because, as I said, if you saw the last video I did, Punk is very much like, he represents everything that that everyone hoped AW would be, right? And he is that anti-W. He's the most he's the biggest symbol like anti WWE, where Bryan Danielson isn't that. He represents like the hope of what we want like wrestling to be, not what AEW just want wrestling to be as a whole. So yeah, I think it's going to be a much a bigger deal. Let's see. I do agree. AEW is right on ECW as far as like fan, like watching it as a fan. The only thing I like, it's at ECW levels, which is insane. Which is nuts. I'm sure Nightmare Baller will be in here at some point, I would imagine. And I think I finally got him on board to agree with me. But it is at that level. Like it's insane to see like the way the fans are just with AEW right now, and it's only going to get worse now. I think it's only going to get worse. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think it's only going to be like more so. I think if I think that's really going to be the case of that. So yeah, I think Punk 2011 maybe, but this went a lot longer and was a lot more emotional. So yeah, yeah. Time. Let's see. Do I think Garcia will be a star? Yes, I do. I think everybody sees that in him. He's so good, so young, and so good. And if I think so, here we go. I think Bryan Danielson. So Jim asked, Dragon, Punk, Cole, and AEW is taking over the wrestling world. Cole is the one that we don't know about. I do think if Cole shows up, it's going to be a little different. I think then it becomes this is the place everybody wants to be type thing, and not just like a bunch of like anti WWE stuff, which I think the other two kind of more represent. He's shilled out for Cult of Personality. He's gonna for Final Countdown. I mean, when was the last time Europe did anything? Whereas Punk really never got his Mania level. I agree, but I think that means it's a bigger deal when Danielson shows up. I really do. I think that's going to be thing. I really think so. Garcia is going to be an early opponent for Bryan, I assume, like second or third. Maybe. I don't know if it'll be like the second. I think it'll be like we'll go through like all of the dream matches, and then we'll get or it'll be a running thing where Garcia is just like continually takes on Bryan just over and over and over again. So yeah, I think that'll be a thing. Woodford shows up on AEW. See, I'm not as down on Bray showing up because I think if he joins the Dark Order, because it looks like they're in a position where they can shift the Dark Order. I think that would work fine. If you go back to him not being like crazy, kind of over the top, nutso doing the Funhouse stuff, and just have him go back to being Southern creepy Bray Wyatt. I think it'll work fine, and I think it'll be fine. So yeah, I can't imagine they didn't know a load of money. Cole, maybe, but I mean, you can throw a bunch of money at him and still, is it worth it? I mean, really. Tony Khan went to ECW shows as a kid, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, and if you saw or you read what Tony Khan said in front of the crowd before the show, that was a very Paul Heyman promo, no question about that. So he definitely learned from kind of the master of doing that. Danielson's first feud should be Kenny Omega. No question, that should be it, because that's the guy that he can wrestle and beat, that people will then get, I think, Kenny Omega on a much bigger stage. So yeah. Feels like a distant third place. If he jump, he would need an actual angle, not just here I am. Maybe, but I think that the thing is Cole is friends with that core group, so he's not going to get like lost in the shuffle. So there. I don't think so. I don't see Punk showing up in ROH at all. How long before you think we'll get Danielson? I feel like definitely after All Out. Everybody's saying Arthur Ashe, so I would assume that's probably what they will do. So that's the other big show. So, uh, when right around the time The Rock decided to come back, business wise, understandable because it's The Rock, but make a new legit star. I think they were willing to push Punk, but I think it was the same thing with Danielson where they weren't actually going to get behind him. Even when they finally pushed him, he was still, really like easily the second behind Cena, which makes sense. But sometimes he was like the third or fourth guy pushed. I mean, it was kind of silly, really. Um, in a way, he did that. The Forbidden Door is going to be open very soon. You would think maybe once. I would think once ROH like has fuller crowds and is taping in front of crowds again and isn't jumping through hoops. I think we'll see more of that. Have AEW wrestlers on there since there will be interpromotional things on there. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they'll have. You'll definitely have Christian on there, I would think. So, you think Punk will have Forbidden Door matches? I mean, the Kenta match. Everybody wants the Kenta match. I think that would be something that everybody kind of wants to see. So, I definitely think that would be a thing. But and this whole weekend is just kind of crazy when you think about it, because you had SmackDown, you had the Punk thing, ROH is being completely overshadowed. They're having a Glory by Honor, nights 1, nights 2. Impact is having a pay-per-view, I guess, that happened tonight. I guess there's a GCW show tonight. Then, of course, there's SummerSlam. There is maybe, as far as, the last NXT show as we know it is happening. So, all of that will be fairly interesting, I think. So, isn't around. We could have had them open the Forbidden Door. I think they would have done the Forbidden Door, but the Forbidden Door would be very odd with them. There's no question with Lucha Underground. I liked Lucha Underground. I get a lot of other people didn't. I didn't like the intergender stuff. That was really the only thing I didn't like, but I get. Seems like that's the main event. Looking back at last Friday when OC was seen behind her. I don't know if that's going to happen on Bound for Glory, but we'll see. You think AW guys will join the Bullet Club? No, I think the Bullet Club is going to show up at some point. I keep expecting it. I keep waiting for it. I keep waiting for the Elite versus Bullet Club feud that we've waited for forever for. I would imagine that's something we're going to get. Because it is what it is. I mean, they're not going to go to New Japan, right? So why not just let the guys that aren't over there right now just kind of do their own thing? But you have all that this weekend, and I mean, it's when Punk mentioned them, Ronnie Garvin and Dusty killed territories. Cody could follow in his dad's whatever. But it will be trying to think what else to talk about. But yeah, I think we have Roddy is still in WWE. He is in NXT, but we don't know what NXT is going to look like in a month. So who knows? He might be a guy that they're like, you're too old, go away. And in AEW, he'd probably be a good like mid card guy, or he could go somewhere else. So you keep Punk fully babyface. Probably 6 months, I would think. I think it would be. I would be shocked if we don't see him start doing heely things really fast, so that he can just, do the turn, and it all makes sense. So I don't see Johnny Gargano leaving because I think HBK just has, you know, a thing for him. So I think he will push for him. I think Cole, I think he'll push for him too. But I think the thing with Cole is Cole. You know, I don't know. Uh, MVP tweeted about tonight too. So you know, it was what it was what it was. If there'd be a Skype talkers reunion, we need more dudes in here. You know, but we're missing about 10 dudes. So you know. How would I get them back into Ring of Honor? I think you can get them into Ring of Honor as soon as you start having crowds again. I think that's the biggest problem, and I think that will help immensely. I could see that. I could see Gargano wanting to be a head trainer. I don't think that's a big, huge, huge thing. I definitely can see that. It's a weird thing considering who are the natural AEW guys like Zayn and Owens would be, but I would argue WWE needs them more than AEW does. That's probably true. I mean, if the thing is if they went to AEW, they'd be a tag team again. I mean, that's the thing. You should beat the Bucks for the title. I get, the idea of Lucha Express. I get or Lucha Express. Listen to me, Jurassic Express winning. I like that idea. I think that would be a good one, particularly since Kenny's not going to lose here. So I think that kind of makes sense in a lot of ways. So yeah, I would definitely go with that. Um, I'm guessing everybody also saw on Twitter, and if not, you can go find it. If you find pictures of the merch line for Punk shirt, that was insanity. That was like, oh my lord, that was like New Japan, in the U.S. merch insanity, just in. I don't think he'd be El Generico again. Maybe, but I don't see that. Yeah, I mean they're gonna have to be live on the TV. That's kind of what I mean. I know they're back, and the crowds have seemed to be into everything, but I think that's what it's going to take. Yeah, I hope Santana and Ortiz start doing stuff too. I don't know if they would be the ones that would throw in the Bucks. I mean, that'd be a good way to jumpstart them, but I definitely think we're going to get more of them and FTR. I'm shocked that we haven't gotten Santana and whichever of the FTR guys it isn't hurt in singles matches, just as a good feud. What would I do with Flair in AEW? I would bring him in. I would do a Horseman reunion, and then over the next couple of months, I'd have him kind of show up and be a kind of an ambassador for AEW, and then over maybe about 6 months, I would actually have each of the three horsemen that they have there really kind of pick dudes and have a new true horseman type of thing. So yeah, I think that would be good. No, because I don't think they want to be. I don't think they want 4 hours. I just don't see that. Maybe at some point. I mean, but I think if they went to them and said, "Hey, we want an extra hour," I think they'd be like, "Okay, but you're gonna get basically darker elevation is what you're gonna get." So The Jungle Boy looked injured to you after that dangerous spot. I'm sure he was not feeling good. I'm sure that's not the case. Sure, he was not feeling the best because that looked like it sucked. It was awesome, but I like was, like everybody else was still like coming back from like the Punk thing, and then that happened, and I was like, oh my god, what did I just see? So yeah. But yeah, so I think that's all like super interesting. So but yeah, the Punk thing I think absolutely delivered. I think got people. What am I drinking? Mike's harder lemonade, mango lemonade, right? Yeah. But but yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's really all I can think of, other than I need to watch probably Glory by Honor. Both of the nights of Glory by Honor. They both night one sounded like it was pretty good, from what I heard. And yeah, do you have any favorites in ROH's Women Champion? Not really, because I not that I like the fact that it is a lot of like women that we don't know, so I think that's good. But I don't have any favorites. But I'm curious to see kind of what they do. Sound out there, but I think is what Jeff Jarrett wanted. I'm sure it was, but the problem is Jeff Jarrett can't not be Jeff Jarrett, if that makes sense. I think TNA could have been what AEW is, but Jeff Jarrett just screwed the pooch and couldn't get out of his own way, and couldn't get out of his way to couldn't do what Cody basically, has done. I don't think he could be that. I don't think he could be Cody. I think he got on his own out of his own way. But anyways, I've rambled on long enough. Well, that's good. If it's a lot of bracket busters, that's probably a good thing. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go. But I just wanted to come on here and kind of give my thoughts on the Punk promo. I thought the Punk promo was awesome. I thought it was. You could tell it was heartfelt. You could tell it was a lot of fun. The pop, the whole just moment of it was just spectacular, and that was a pop. We always kind of it was a good pop. That was a superstar pop. So yeah. I'm glad Benny got a pop. After the match he had with Grisham, he should have got a really good pop, because that was that he earned that. So yes, but can you sing the whole song, LV? That's the question. That's the easy part. That is the easy part. Can you I wonder if they make a big deal if it's out of the 100th episode. So I will not do a Heels review. I've not seen it. So if you Google the lyrics, the song makes a whole lot more sense of why I used to use it. So yeah, if you Google the lyrics, because Glenn Danzig could write. He would. Now he wrote a lot of the same stuff, but he could write. I mean, there's a. They're still really pushing EC3 though. The viewers are listening to him. Yeah. I think the thing with EC3 is that the presentation of EC3 is like awesome, but then he has to wrestle, and then it blah. So yeah. But anyways, okay. So, hey, I like my Danzig intros. I could go back to the classical. I can't think of the name of it. Intro. I could do that. You know, the Excalibur theme, as people like to call it, but that's not it. It's O Fortuna. You know, I like that too. Or I could pull like some really wacky stuff, like Molly Hatchet, or some I'm trying to think of some, Journey, Rush. There's a lot of Rush stuff you could do. I probably will do a Glory by Honor 18 review. We will see. So yeah, Iron Man's overdone. That's like doing like an AC/DC. Like you could do like just about any AC/DC song. So that's not like as good in my opinion. Wants to do is pull all these wrestling promotions in a single umbrella and have some sort of multi-wrestling universe where forbidden. Well, true, but I mean that's how it used to be way back in the day. I mean, you didn't just have like not just like the territories, but you also had like guys would go to Japan, and guys would go to Mexico, and guys would and guys had freedom to go and do their thing in other parts of the world, and it worked better that way. I mean, honestly. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, okay. I've rambled on long enough. I'm out. Thank you guys for showing up. Like I said, I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk a little bit about, and really the whole show was actually not bad because, I mean, I think, the Jade match was a complete squash, which I think everyone thought it was going to be. And then, the Garcia match, which says a lot about Garcia, is the fact that, Garcia got a lot in on Moxley. So you definitely can tell they think really, 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 yeah, Mark Henry's bad. But we all knew Mark Henry was bad. But, I mean, if he just does backstage stuff, I'm fine with that. But, and then if he only just pipes in every once in a while, I'm fine with that too. But the commentary was better with JR. That's for sure. But I think you want JR out there when kind of controlling things the night that CM Punk debuts. So, but anyways, I am out. I am truly out. You guys have a good night. I will see you at some point later.